Hello everybody, welcome to DW3D. I'm Rob. Today I'm going to be showing you a new add-on that I created with the help of ChatGPT Codex called Rig Mirror. What does this add-on do? Well, if you ever been playing with these rigs and you want mirroring to work, you'll find quickly that the Shift N function is very hit or miss. It's dependent on head and tail position and direction of bones. Fortnite, for example, this hand and this hand are two completely different things. One bone set is going this way, like so. The other set is going this way, like so. And rigging, mirroring, nothing works. Even if the naming might be right, it doesn't work. Blender looks for a few different things to actually make rig mirroring work. One, head and tail position and alignment of the bones. And then two, the naming of the bones. As you can see here, we are on a first descendant model. This is the new Evangelion collaboration. This is Bunny, and I'm about to start work on her. But as you can see, it's named BIP001-L-clavicle. Blender's not going to be able to do any mirroring on that, and I'll show you. We're in pose mode. Turn on mirroring and give her a test. You see you have nothing going on here. There's absolutely zero rig mirroring whatsoever to speak of. Blender's going to want a name change for sure, so it's going to want a -L or a .L at the front or back of the name, plus doing the head and tail that I've already mentioned. So, to get started, you would download Rig Mirror V3 Legacy add-on and just drag and drop it into your viewport. I've already got it installed. I'm sorry, I'm not on a vanilla Blender here. I've got a workflow and I'm just trying to show you how to use this. But you would hit OK. For me, I'm going to hit cancel. If you want to, you will see it show up under your end panel under Rig Mirror. If you want to uninstall it, you just go to Edit, Preferences, type in Rig, and there's Rig Mirror. You can hit the uninstall button and uninstall it just fine. But for this tutorial, we're not going to mess with that. We're going to show you some of the features here. We have auto select functions from Fortnite and Marvel Rivals, because in Unreal they use the same bone name nomenclature for the game across all rigs. So this is pretty much preset to quick grab. I'll show you that here shortly in a Fortnite model. But for now, I want to show you some of the more manual features that we've built into the add-on. We'll start with adding a manual pair. As you see, I click the button, or you can remove the last row. So let's say I add another one. This would remove the last row. Okay. Or you could add a pair and just delete all the rows in once. Now, your backup features are very dependent on what's going on in this list that you're creating. So if you have a crash or you save and close and this list gets wiped, it will not reset the rig anymore. So it's always good to have like a backup save of unmirrored versus mirrored, because as you build this list, that's how this backup feature is working. It's undoing and redoing everything that you have in this list. So we'll do an add manual pair, and I'll show you the eyedropper version. I've already got some bone collections set up here. Let me turn on the others for you really quick. We'll go back down to Rig Mirror. You see it's right source, left source. I'm just going to eyedrop the left clavicle. I'm going to eyedrop the right clavicle. And then I'm going to hit Fix Manual Mirror. And now, with mirror mode on, we should... Oh, see, I messed up. Remember what I said about the naming? You have to hit Rename for Blender Mirror. Now, you can select in here anywhere. And if you're picky about it, you can do whatever you want. Default just works fine. Now if you hit it, You see it's rechanged the names. Now your mirroring should work just fine. Remember what I said about this being very dependent on this list? You can reset the rig. It changed everything back, and you can test to make sure it's just fine. So there's the add manual pair. There is also an auto button here. If you don't want to do the eyedropper, you can, I'll remove the list and I'll just add a manual pair and hit the auto button, and it added it for me. I'll select the other bone over here, hit the auto button, and it added it for me. Fix the rig and test. Works just fine. I still have my pair, so I can still reset right here. It changes everything back, and mirroring's gone. Let me remove all this. Now, I'll show you another feature that's built into the manual section. If you take the time like I did and create a list of bones, now I have just the mirror on. These are the bones I'm going to want to work on this model. Go back down in here to rig mirror. I'll hit A to select all, and I'm just going to hit add selected, and it pre-generates the whole list for you. This is manual, like I said, so you will need to kind of go through and make sure, but it should be able to grab the model across the whole rig by naming. Double check everything, make sure everything looks good. Make sure you're checked so it changes the names, because you'll need it on this rig, and just hit fix manual mirror. There it goes. It changed all the names as you did it, and now you can test. And every bone should be worked. All head and tail should be flipped to the opposite side to make it match, and it should work just fine. Notice that I'm checking in all directions, because sometimes, even though it says it works, when you do the shift N technique, you go rotate it this way and it's still going the wrong way because the head and tail hasn't been switched. But this rig is perfectly fine like that. And then again, if you want to remove anything, you can, but if you start removing stuff, you're going to mess up the reset rig. For now, I'm going to reset the rig back to default, because I've already messed this tutorial up a few times, just in case I got to come back. And we will go solid mode on her, and now we'll bring up Blender 5. Welcome to Blender 5. Here is Fortnite Winter Sky. As you can see, this is a standard Fortnite mirroring. It follows. The naming might be right, but because these, like I said earlier, bones are going in different directions and the head and tails are pointing the wrong way, mirroring never works right. I will object mode, show you how to do the auto feature for these kind of rigs. Make sure you select the armature, and then literally just hit select bones. It'll auto grab all the bones for you, and just hit Fortnite fix Fortnite mirror, and you notice everything just changed. Now you can test, and there you go. Again, it's all dependent on this session right now. You see it down here in the output, it did everything. If you want to reset the rig, you can reset the rig, and everything should work fine. And all the add manual pairs, all the delete and add rows still works just fine in this too. If you want to do it the slow, methodical way, you're more than welcome to. Point is that Marvel Rivals and Fortnite should have some auto features that makes it a lot quicker. Other rigs maybe not. This has been tested in the First Ascendant, Fortnite, Marvel Rivals, Wu Chang, Withering Wave, Street Fighter, Overwatch, plus more I'm sure I'm forgetting right now. I've tested it on well over 20 rigs. We've made a few different updates. That's why it's on version 3 already. But as of right now, it feels pretty foolproof to send out and test. If you run into any problems, please come back to either Discord or to Patreon and leave me a note of what's going on, and possibly a link to the blend file so that I can give it to GPT and let it kind of analyze what's happening and run a patch. But as of right now, this will be the name of the add-on, Rig Mirror, so you should be able to just drag, drop, and update from there. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Once again, this is Rob from DW3D, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for stopping by.